There is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are now controlling the transmission. We control the horizontal, the vertical. We can deluge you with 1,000.
Well, hello and welcome back to Feasible Productions, a Fummins build. I am the Fees Meister. Today on this show, what we're going to take and do is get the adapter plate set up to where we can put on it. But in order to get the adapter plate on, before that, we've got to take and knock out this little plug right here so that this fleece adapter can go on here, which will help 5 and 6 from getting so hot. So in order to do that, we've got to take this adapter plate, we've got to get it set up in here, and we've got to make a little notch out of there so that this will sit in there correctly. Now, as you can see the video next to me, one thing you want to do is take and get the little dowel pins out of your adapter plate. They might be in your adapter plate or they might be in the engine block. Mine was in the engine block, and when it got sent off, they never made it back. So what you might want to do if you're sending your engine off is take and go ahead and pull them out before you send the engine block off so that you still have them. Where I was lucky is I have another engine and I was able to go steal the parts off of it. So let's go ahead and get the adapter plate set up in there, and let's make a mark and see how much we've got to take and cut off of it. So now we've got the adapter plate set in place. So what we're going to want to do is take our Fleece water adapter and we're going to try to line it up with the holes, and it looks like right about there. So now what we're going to want to do is take and make a mark right there. So as you can see, we've just got to take that little bit off right there. And after we do that, then we need to take and set this up next to the transmission, and we might have to take a little bit off of the transmission. All right, once again, this is a diesel conversion adapter plate right here. And if anyone from diesel conversion is listening to me, for some people, you might be able to ask them if this is what they're gonna do. If so, then you could sell the adapter plate already set up, ready to go for this. Not that it takes much time to do. Put on your safety glasses, safety gloves, and let's start cutting. All right, so I am gonna take the time to resand this down and make it look back factory again. But let's go ahead and do a test fit before. All right, that looks like plenty. Now we'll just take and clean that up a little bit, sand it down. Now first, before this is all torqued down on here, we wanna take and bring it over to the transmission and see what we've gotta do to the tranny. So it looks like we need about a 2 1/8, but we'll just go a little bit more than that. So 2 3/16, and we'll know that we're good. So, all right, so as you can see, what we are gonna have to do is take a little notch out of the transmission. 2 3/16, so right there. So what we're going to want to do is take a little notch out of here, the same that we got here. I don't know about you, but this sure makes me cringe a little bit cutting into stuff. But I think in the long run, this will help the engine stay at the right temperature. So let's try not to take any more off of this than we have to. Alright, so there it is. Now we're going to take and clean it up and make sure it's got plenty of clearance. I'd hate to go to bolt this up and, well, I guess it's not that hard to correct it because the cab ain't on. So let's go ahead and clean it up though so it looks factory. Alright, so we got that all sanded up with my grinder. We might take and sand it a little bit more with the finer grit, but so far it's looking pretty dang factory right there. And then we've already been working on sanding this one down. And we've got this pretty much looking back to factory. We'll take and sand it a little bit better. Little paint on that and you won't even be able to tell that we did what we did to it. Well, looks factory to me. Alright, so now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to make sure that you hammer these plugs in where they go. One goes there, one goes there. Get you a little mallet and pound them in there. So now what we're gonna want to do is take and pop this out. So let me go ahead and get a chisel and let's pop that out. Then we're gonna want to take and clean up around this so that the sill gets a good sill on it. All right, there we go. We got it moving. Now let's just grab some needle nose and see if we can pull it out that way. All right. All right, so she's out. So Fleece came with a Brillo pad to go ahead and clean this. So I don't know about you guys, but I really like what Fleece made. But I think one thing that would make a guy feel a little bit better is if there was another gauge back here to where you could read this temperature, because it's not going to be the same as the front to my understanding. So if you're listening, Fleece, maybe that's a little upgrade you guys could do, is put some little knuckle in there or something to where it's got a tube coming off of it or something, to where you can add that inside of the truck to where you can read this temperature to know when this thermostat fails. So let's go ahead and get this all cleaned up. All right, let's go ahead and clean around it. Let's clean this one while we're here. Now let's continue to clean this really good. Make sure you clean that little groove inside of there really good. We don't want it to leak. Alright, well, now we've got it all cleaned and prepped. We just need to blow it out and then go ahead and start installing it. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is take and pull this O-ring off. Without damaging it. What we have got is Parker Super O Lube. It's designed for lubrication, for lubing up these rings. You can use many other things, but this is the best for it. Let's get it all lubed up around it. Alright. Make sure no spots missed. Take your Fleece coolant bypass, put it back on it. Take and line her up, grab both sides of the block, and push until she seats in there. Take and get the lube off your hands. Take your bolts, 18 metric, put a little blue Loctite on it. Take and start her in the bolt, in the hole. Take and start her in the hole. Take your other one, a little blue Loctite on it. Slowly bring each side snug and then just go back and forth slowly. Snugging them both sides up evenly. Now I looked and I don't see anything saying recommendation torque down for these, so I guess just go tight. Alright, so she's on and tightened. Now we're going to go ahead and, I believe this is a 1 inch, so we need to go ahead and get a 1 inch wrench, tighten that down. Come up front, undo these bolts so we can make sure everything's correct again. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and undo this and make sure our hose is tight, because you're not going to really get in there to be able to tighten it. Try to hold it exactly where you want it. And tighten her down. Alright, so what we got to do is take and put the front of this on. And what I'm probably going to do is loosen up the back to get this little kink out of it that it's wanting to do. It's probably easier to do it back there than on the front. So let's go ahead and put this back on. One more little step here. You can do this or you don't have to do it, but these always want to get stuck in there. So I'm going to put a little anti-seize on it. Not only that, but it helps the bolts go in. Certain areas where you take the bolts out a lot is, I think it's okay to use anti-seize, and that way when you got to get in there again, you're not stripping the head off or something trying to get it out. Alright, now these ones we do torque down. Or you can just go really snug. So this one, they say to tighten it to 89 inch-pounds, which, I don't know, seems a little excessive. Okay, so we're going to take, we got this new torque wrench. I guess this is our first use here. Turn it right up to 89 inch-pounds. We're going to start smaller than that and work up. We'll go to 50 and then we'll climb. And like I said, slowly go around, bringing all bolts down at the same time. Not doing one side tight then the next one. Bring them all down at the same time. I guess this doesn't make a sound. I thought this one would make a sound. I guess you feel it though. Okay, let's bring it up. Go to 75 or somewhere around there, 76. There it is. There it is. There it is. Bring it up to 89. All right, we're set at 89 now. That's it. She's set. Okay, so now we want to loosen this one up so we can get it to set correctly. I think what I'll do is put the hold down brackets on it and then we'll tighten this up. So now Fleece is giving these really nice hold downs for the hose so it doesn't sit there rattle all over the place. So one goes, I guess, about here as long as nothing is in its way. So we'll take that off, and bring it over the hose. Now these, I am going to put a little Loctite on them because I'm pretty sure that these will end up vibrating right the heck out of there. Not a lot, just a very, very little. Make sure we don't lose these little screws. Same with these bolts. Just a little Loctite. We don't need to lose them. Diesel engines are very notorious for vibrating all over the place. Not a lot, just a little. As you can see, the exhaust manifold is not tightened up just yet. I've got to take and put new bolts in it, and I've got them sitting over there. That is probably what I'll do after we got the back end of this all done up. Oh, that's actually perfect. Okay, go ahead and come to the back and tighten the back up. See if I can get that little bit of a kink out of there any better. Alright, and then these, just take and snug them down. Don't break them. Let's move on and put the converter plate on. Well, alright, let's go ahead and get the adapter plate on. We've accommodated this so that the fleece can fit in there, and we've cleaned that, the cam seal area. We have taken the Fummins dowel pins out of the other engine and put them into this. So let's go ahead and get this mounted up. Alright, well, we've got our blue Loctite. Getting very excited about getting this engine done. Can't wait to drive the truck around. Wow, brand new thread locker blue, and I don't think there's even anything in this. Oh, there it is. They're very skimpy on it anymore. Dang, really skimpy. Oh! Bottle barely has any in it. Looks like I gotta find 2 more bolts. 1 more bolt. Okay, can get these snugged down. Gotta find 1 more bolt. Now we've got to take and torque these all down to 40 foot-pounds. Alright, time to put the flywheel on. Now for these it's recommended to use a red Loctite. Okay, so now you're going to need a 19 metric. Now there is a torque pattern for this one. So we'll just take and snug them up really quick with that, and now we're gonna go and do the pattern. Diesel conversions, they actually have it right here how you gotta do it. So we're torquing down to 101 foot-pounds. I'm gonna use my snap-on for this. I am gonna start off at 75 and work my way up to 101. So I don't have to keep on looking at this. I'm gonna do a little cheater real quick. There, on 6, 3, 8, 5, 2, 7, 4. Keep it simple. I'm gonna have to put something to keep it from spinning. I don't have all the stuff put together on the front of it. Now we're gonna step it up. 101 right there. 1 more final. Come on. Alright, so we've installed that. So we have installed the Fleece bypass water system so that our 5 and 6 stays nice and cool. Now let's move on to the exhaust manifold.